Hey everybody.
Hi, welcome to Tuesdays in the Shop. I'm Andrea.
And I'm Yvette, and we're coming to you live from our store in Midtown Manhattan, Gotham Quilts. And today we're talking about the next Block of the Month program that we're going to launch next week, maybe. We just have to finish the sample.
Yeah, as soon as we can.
Because we need to have a picture, because no one buys anything without a picture, right? You want to know what you're going to be making.
But it's looking pretty good so far, I have to say.
So this project, we're going to debut it in this video, but it's not ready to sign up yet.
As you'll see.
Yeah. This is the pattern that we're using. It's called the Lovely Day quilt, and it's an applique quilt designed by Tamara Kate, who is a fabric designer with Wyndham, is it?
I can't remember who she's with.
I don't remember who she's with.
I think she's with Wyndham, yeah. She's gone back and forth. She's been, because she was with Michael Miller, I know that, but I think she's with Wyndham.
I think she's at Wyndham. And I can put a better version of that picture on the screen, so you can see it better.
Because this is a relatively new pattern, and we loved the colors that she used, and the shapes are really interesting, and just there's a lot going on, and we thought it would be a really nice block of the month. And you can do it different ways. You could do a raw edge fused.
Yeah, so she wrote this pattern for raw edge fused machine applique, but with a twist. Instead of, I'm going to show you one of the blocks that's done with raw edge. Instead of, normally when you do raw edge, oops, I just realized that I have the other screen on. Hold on. Showing it reasonably.
There we go.
So this is one of the blocks we've made for our store sample. And normally when you do fused applique, you cut out the fabric, you fuse it onto the background, and then you stitch around the edge, right? She's got a twist in her pattern where she tells you not to stitch this down until you go to quilt it. So when you do the quilting, you are going to do the stitching down and the quilting at the same time, which I thought is a really cool twist.
Save yourself some time.
But when we were designing this block of the month, we wanted to make it educational. People do generally like signing up for a program that not only has instructions and fabric, but also has education. So we're going to do videos for this block of the month, and we're actually going to teach you 2 different ways to do applique. We're going to teach this fused method where you use fusible web, that you use an iron to fuse onto the back of the fabric, and you cut it out and then you fuse onto the fabric again. But we're also going to teach needle turn applique. Some of the blocks in this are very fiddly and not the best option for needle turn, but some of them, like this one, which our Jen made this sample, they work really well with needle turn. Using the templates is different, and the order of operations is a little bit different, but when you sign up for this block of the month, you're going to get access to the classes, which are going to be pre-recorded videos that you can take anytime, watch as many times as you want at your own pace. To teach you both techniques. So you could do what we did. We did half the blocks fused and half the blocks needle turn. Or you could do the whole thing needle turn, or you could do the whole thing fused. It's a choose your own adventure kind of thing. But the educational component will have everything all the way from the beginning to the end. Although we're not going to have videos for like how to bind. Like stuff that is standard for
all of the
won't be included.
Gathering your pieces, organizing your fabrics, because there's a lot of little pieces to all of these, and using these 2 here, and then you use it again over here, and that sort of thing. So it did, just keeping track of all that stuff is a lesson in and of itself.
Whenever you're doing applique with lots of different fabrics, there is some amount of just like organizing yourself. It's kind of like when you do like an Elizabeth Hartman pattern with all those little squares, and it's like 15 of A, and then there's A1 or whatever it is.
Doing the prep work is important.
Yeah, if you stay organized, it's a lot easier. So let's show you some of the blocks we've made.
Yes, we
half of them, as you can see in the original pattern, half of them are on a white background and half of them are on a color background. And we stuck somewhat to the original color palette, but we made it more us.
Yeah, we really liked the original, so we did stick close to that one, but give it a little spin of our own, because the fabrics she used are no longer available.
I love this one.
I like a lot of these.
And the really nice thing about her design is that these are all super organic shapes. You do not have to stress out about cutting it perfect.
Right.
Whether you're cutting the template or the fabric itself.
If yours is a little curvier.
Right, exactly.
So what?
if this blob is a slightly different shaped blob, that's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, your egg shape is a little less egg shaped.
Yeah.
Fine.
Not a problem. Yeah. I really like some of these. They're so pretty.
I like that I didn't have to do any of them.
Jennifer saying, oh, it's Jen. Ha. Jen is saying they look great together.
They really do.
So Jen made all the ones on the white background, and I made all the ones on the color background, which means I did a lot less work than she did.
Yeah, Jen did a lot of work. You can tell.
So what we're going to do in this video, oh, and by the way, if you already know you want to do this quilt, I'm going to put a QR code on the screen, and you can just sign up to be notified when the block of the month launches, which I think might be in like a week, but maybe more.
That's what
like
we're
2
shooting
weeks.
for. But as you can see, the quilt is not finished yet.
Yes, we need to make a sample. We need to take pictures, but we have almost all of it done. Otherwise,
what we need to do today,
right,
is pick a sashing.
So in the original pattern, she put a sashing that was actually a print. Let me put the bigger size of it.
It's a fussy cut butterfly, a row of butterflies that are fussy cut for the sashing.
Let's make this bigger so you can see.
I wanted a busy sashing. I actually found a butterfly fabric that I thought would work. I was turned down.
So you can watch us bicker some more if you want. So
this is where it'll happen.
The original used, as you can see in the picture that I have zoomed in, that everyone can, that is taking up the whole screen right now. She fussy cut a butterfly print for her sashing. So it makes the sashing look like it's almost like a little baby applique.
Yeah.
Right? In between the applique blocks. And while I think that's cool, I think it's a little busy. So like we tend to do more minimal, more modern, fewer prints, right? So I think for our version, we should not have a print in the sashing.
I think we should have a print in the sashing.
Andrea thinks we should have a print in the sashing. But Andrea is the designer.
We have to come to some kind of, well, that was our business agreement.
We have a contract for
I
our
have final say on all creative decisions.
Yep.
She has final say on basically everything.
Finance type stuff.
And we've never had to use to.
That's true. We've been in business almost 9 years, and we have never actually gotten to the point where we couldn't agree.
Yeah, no worries.
And had to invoke.
Never had to throw that down before.
Yeah. Maybe this will be the first time. So what we decided to do in this live is audition some options. So we actually gathered a bunch of fabrics from the store that we thought might work, or actually the very first one, Andrea's insisting.
I've already poo-pooed the first one.
Yes, she does not like this one. But so in my mind, we should pick like an Essex, or
I'm okay with Essex.
Something like almost a solid, but because half the blocks are white, we know it can't be white.
And it can't be really any of these bright colors either.
So this is a hard decision, right? So we have 6 different, like pretty strong colors mixed in here. So we can't pick a color similar to this. We can't pick a color similar to this, because if we did,
they're going to fight each other.
This layout would get lost, right? Imagine if there wasn't this contrasting sashing inside. If the whole background was just white, these blocks that are white would appear to be floating in nothing. And then these would really, really stick out. Or imagine, like in this picture, this one is like a really deep blue. Imagine if the background was all blue, but these were white. Right? Like this one would fade,
look weird,
and these would stick way out. And then like if this blue didn't go with this yellow, this would just look like a mistake. So this is hard.
Yeah, this is tricky.
But it's also fun. We like picking
fine line. So we thought we would do this on camera so you guys can see the process. And also, I'm not sure how good you'll be able to see.
Yeah, so unfortunately we don't have.
But if you'd like to weigh in, if there's some that you think are good, some that you think are bad, feel free to put that in the comments. Let us know.
Yep. So the first one we have on the table is a Aqua Essex Linux. I think it's actually called
I believe
Aqua.
It is Aqua.
So it's like a soft, minty, pistachio-y blue.
It's Aqua.
Well, but Aqua can be so many different colors.
It's not minty.
It's bluer than mint.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
like an ocean.
So how do we do this? How we do this is we are going to take our blocks and we're going to just lay them on this.
So we spread out all the fabrics already for
here so
time
we can have more
sake.
room.
But this is exactly what we do. If a customer comes in and needs to pick out sashing for a quilt, this is what we do. We put the fabric out on the table.
We do this when they're trying to pick a background.
Background, yes, exactly. And then we lay the blocks on top and see what looks good.
So let's get started. We're going to put them in a checkerboard.
Somewhat of
the sashing is like 1.5 inches, I think.
Yeah, inch and a half, 2. It's not big.
And we know
Oh,
that we're
it's good.
doing alternating, right? It's
Yes.
white.
So it is kind of checkerboard.
Oh, that's what you meant by checkerboard. Yep, that makes sense. I didn't actually parse
And
that
we're
in a
not
logical
paying
way.
attention to direction.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one goes where. We're just trying to get a feel for how they look
Yeah.
with this fabric in between.
Yeah, with this
right?
sashing. And we are aware that the white blocks, a little bit of the sashing or the aqua
Yeah.
is showing through. So that's having a tiny bit of an effect, but not enough at this point.
It actually looks nice on the camera. We were so worried that you wouldn't be able to see it.
Well, yeah, because there's some subtle, a lot of these colors are kind of subtle. So
right.
I'm not sure. But
so I
we'll
like this shot. One. Andrea does not like
So there
one.
is no aqua in this quilt. And that's what I am. There's so many colors going on here already that I don't think we need to add another color family.
It's fair. But I think it's nice that it's a different color than what's already here, because I think that adds to the contrast of popping out all the blocks instead of having some of them pop more and some of them pop less. And it's still pale enough that it doesn't, I think it doesn't fight with the white.
No, it doesn't fight.
But
yeah.
So we don't agree on this one. Let's go to the next one. Okay?
Yes, moving on.
Okay, you move those and I will move the aqua. So look at how organized we are today. We laid all this out ahead of time.
Prep work. All
Woo!
right.
Okay, so totally different option.
Off with you, aqua.
Like not even in the same planet.
So this is one of Tula's
Tiny Dots.
Tiny Dots. And I don't know what color it is, but it's the light pink one.
Oh, Linda said, is it possible to see the top row? Linda, I'm not really sure what that means. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, let me move the camera. Is that better, Linda? Yeah, now you can see 3. Thank you for saying that, because I didn't even notice.
And the aqua one was the only one we actually looked at beforehand because it was on top.
So what's nice about this pink is a pink background with an orange dot, and we have both pink and orange in the quilt, in the box, right? So it really, really coordinates well.
Kind of into this one, actually.
Yeah, we thought this one might be a contender. And I don't hate the contrast between the pinkest, like this is the closest, right? So sometimes when you have a color that's very close, it looks like a mistake. But this is not so close that it fights with it.
I could live with this.
I think this might work.
I think this should be a finalist.
Yeah, this should be on the list. One thing about this is it's even more girly.
That's true.
So if we
but I think it's already
don't want to go, yeah, I know, but also like a polka dot is girly and more pink is girly, right?
Polka dot is girly?
You would put a boy in polka dots?
Sure, why not?
Most people wouldn't.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Who knew?
So I think this is an option, but maybe not the best yet. Plus, we only tried 2. We're not going to commit to the second one.
So we like that one, but just because you like it, don't stop there. If you have other options that you think might work, it's worth trying them out to see if they do.
And Jen's saying, is this a dot? So maybe the dot isn't that visible.
Yeah,
I will hold it up closer to the camera.
It won't be.
So you can see what kind of dot.
And then some of our more subtle ones, they're not going to
be able to see. So this is a pale pink background with a bright orange dot.
And all the bolts are covered up, so I can't look at the sticker, but that's okay. If we select it, you'll know what it is.
So this option I think is really interesting.
I am interested, yes.
That is in the blocks.
But not in the same color. So that's actually the same that's in this leaf. But this one's pink, whereas this one is purple. And I think it's going to be too busy now that I start.
And I'm going to hold a piece of this fabric up closer to the camera so you can see what the print is better. This is what the print looks like. It's a mosaic kind of a thing with
Greek key
lavender
sort of ish
and white, and then it's got multicolored little dots all over, which is nice because it brings in a little bit of color, a little bit more color.
And I do think a lavender is a good potential sashing, but I'm not so sure about this one.
There's something sad about this one.
Yeah, maybe I couldn't put my finger on it, but I don't like it.
And I can't explain why,
No,
but there's something sad about it.
not liking this one.
I don't like it. Plus,
All right, well, we're in
also,
agreement there.
it's very geometric, and this is a very organic looking thing. So I think doesn't fit the theme.
Yeah, it's just too much. Too much. Off with you.
Off with you. All right, here's a wild option that Andrea also hates, but you can tell
I don't hate
picked it.
I just know it isn't going to work. I love this color. This is wasabi, by the way, which is an excellent.
Yeah, Kona Solid. If you watched our video a couple weeks ago, all about the different solids brands that we sell, this is one of the Konas, and it's this fantastic highlighter green.
But just wait 1 second, and you will also see why it won't work. I mean, honestly, if it weren't for that, I do like it. I do love this color.
I know, and like I used to hate this kind of color, and it's because of quilting that I started liking it.
I think, yeah, actually, honestly, other than that one, I think it does look pretty good.
So maybe we just make the quilt with a hole. All right, so.
Well, that is one of the fused ones. I suppose we could change
that one. This is partly how it ends up that we don't finish anything, is because we get to this point where we're supposed to be putting the thing together, and then we change our minds and end up, I kind of like it though.
I have to step back and see from another angle.
I don't even mind so much this, even though it's not ideal, right? Like the contrast between the background and the foreground is just not great. What do you all think?
Avocado green.
Ooh. Sandra says it's too pale.
Not this one.
I think that is what she's saying.
Oh, really? I can't.
And Hank says, or Hank,
I think the last one
says
was too
that
pale.
the quirky color is fun. And Jen says, I want to like it, but nah.
Yeah.
Which is a hilarious answer, by the way.
Do, except for that. Okay.
I don't hate it.
Let's call it, yeah, I don't hate it.
But it's probably not
But that bothers me.
I know it does.
Okay, moving on.
So you could tell we pre-gamed a little bit because we already had this whole conversation
we didn't lay it
about
out,
this
but...
one. Uh-oh. Pattern
fine.
Down.
Okay.
All right. Here's
so this is
Lavender Essex. So this
lilac,
is very
simple.
Oh, you're right, lilac.
So this one is used in the applique. There's
and it's
some of it right
the
here,
same
actually.
fabric as the first one that we tried, but in a different color.
You keep taking my white ones.
Well, move faster. Okay. Okay, this is good, I think.
I think so.
So this is the first one we've tried that is a fabric that's included in the applique shapes.
Which I don't think there's anything wrong with.
I agree. I'm just explaining. So this fabric here, when you're looking at this block, this big piece is the same fabric as that. And it's again here, it's here, it's here. Right. So it's kind of, it's not in every block, but it is
another angle.
Throughout. I think the least successful is the yellow again. Like the yellow with this lavender is like a little gross.
I don't think it's gross. Linda's asking to see the fabric closer up.
This lavender? Yeah, we could do that.
We will when we take.
Yeah.
But there isn't much going. Yeah, it's an
lavender.
Essex. So there's no pattern on this one. Nothing. But I think that's...
All right. So top contenders.
Yeah.
This Essex. What was the first
one? Pink dot.
Pink dot. Pink
and wasabi.
tiny dot.
Wasabi, I think, is still in there, but
it is. I thought you hated it.
It's at the bottom of the finalist pile.
Okay, here's a closer look at the Essex. The color name is Lilac Essex.
And now we have a
is
solid.
A solid, and this color name is Peach Fuzz.
So it's a very pale peach.
Yeah, it's not very saturated.
which kind of a fleshy color, actually.
Oh, now that you said that, I don't like it anymore.
I think it might be too pale. Just not enough life in it, I think.
Ooh, Jen says that when we had the lavender up, that it kind of made some of them look like reverse applique because it's the same fabric, which I didn't even think about.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. Oh, that's not how that goes. That's not how any of this goes. What am I doing?
Yeah, you got lost.
Got confused. Yes, I did.
You know what's interesting about this color is this is also very girly.
Yeah.
But it's not as girly, like because it's not so saturated, maybe, or maybe just because it isn't pink, it's more.
I think it's
peachy.
I think it's too blah.
Okay, like not enough. So too light, maybe.
I think.
Okay. Does anyone like this one? We could take a vote.
Yeah, it just doesn't have. It's not bad. It's just.
Yeah, and I think that fits with your desire not to have it be solid also, right? Like you would like a pattern of some sort.
Yeah, I would prefer something going on or something textural like the Essex.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Okay, let's try the next one.
But it just doesn't have, not quite right. And the next one is actually a very similar color.
Yeah, I did this on purpose. So this is a very light, peachy solid, right? The next one is not quite as light, but is essentially the same color.
Right. It's a tiny bit peachier, I guess.
It's more saturated.
More saturated, yes. And it has this is the deco stitch. We have another piece of it over there.
Oh, yeah, I can hold it closer. Yep. So this is a blender print where it kind of reads like a solid, but it does have a tiny print on it. Here it is closer up so you can see.
Very usable.
The design, very subtle. And it looks like stitching, like hand stitching, which is nice on an applique quilt.
Which, yeah, I like this blender.
Maria says she doesn't like it. I'm not sure if she means this one or if she means the last one.
Yeah, that's the only problem. We don't know.
Jen says the last one washed it out.
Yeah.
Hank says, I like the peach because it allows the squares to pop. You know what we could do? We could put
half and half.
Just for comparison.
Well, we already decided we didn't like it.
I know, but
okay.
I definitely like this better.
I like it better too.
And I'm not even bothered by the print. I think the print actually is kind of cute.
The print doesn't bother me at all.
Because the print kind of looks like stitches. So
right.
I like that.
It's adding something.
Whereas in the original, the print was butterflies, and that was like a lot.
Right.
This is much more subtle.
No, you've gotten me moved to subtle prints.
Yes.
The one that I wanted to use, or I was gunning for, is is this one. But Yvette said I wasn't allowed to use stripes.
Yeah, can you imagine how many customers would be mad at us?
But look how close those colors are.
Man, no.
I think it would look cool.
It kind of looks like a picnic blanket. Okay, so far everybody likes this one.
It's not going to be that one.
I like a bit of a pattern.
Yeah.
This one is better. This color has a calming effect.
Yep.
So, okay, I think this might be number one now.
It's up there.
Okay.
It's up there.
The last few are white-ish. I put all the white ones together at the bottom.
Pink. Oh, the next one is also pink.
Oh, there's one more pink?
Yeah, it's the other Geo.
Oh, right. I forgot.
Which I think is going to be a no, but we'll try it out.
All right. So this is the same print that we just showed in lavender a couple of minutes ago. That was loud. But this is the pink, which is in a couple of the blocks.
But we did not like the purple one.
No, we thought it was sad.
And I'm guessing we're not going to like this one either, but it's worth laying them out, knowing that you don't like it.
So Jen's contribution to the idea of a stripe sashing is, oh, then we could miter all the corners.
Ooh, see?
No, our customers would kill us.
I love fussy cutting, so that's partly why I liked the butterfly idea, even though it isn't exactly us.
I like this way better than the lavender
It's certainly better than the purple.
but I do not like the one where it uses the same fabric. So if
it's not good, it's not good enough.
You probably can't see this that well, so I'm going to move it over here. This block, the main giant applique on it is the same fabric as this one. So watch what happens when I put this on here.
I mean, it's the same idea as the reverse applique with the lilac, but
it's the only one.
Well, it's the same with that one.
What do you mean?
This is the only one with
but this fabric shows up way more. It's in multiple blocks,
oh, right?
Right?
That's the one you said wasn't.
This fabric is the one that's the least used.
Oh, okay.
And it's used in this like very bright way. And to me, this looks like it's a hole.
Yeah, a little bit.
So I feel like that's a deal breaker.
It's not, I mean, it works. It's not my favorite.
Sandra's saying this is very pale on screen, and I feel like that makes sense. I'll hold it up so you can see it better.
Yeah, but it's pale, but it's still busy.
Right. So
yeah, let me
see if I don't lose my computer. So this is what it looks like closer up. It's the same print from before where we had the lavender, but there's less contrast between the background that's white and the foreground, which is pink, which is why it reads so pale and solid on camera. So that's a no.
Yeah.
This one I think is really interesting.
I'm not sure what this one's going to be.
I picked this one as a test because it has like an organic all over print that kind of looks like grass or I don't know, foliage in a way. Like it looks organic to me.
It's called air.
It does not look like air to me.
No, it doesn't to me either. But that's this is one of the Elements blenders.
And we don't have this kind of color in here. This is sort of like a beige, taupey. It's like not really gray background with like a grayish print. But I thought it might be interesting because of the texture.
And you never know. Sometimes the ones that you're like, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
once you actually lay them out, you're like, oh.
Every once in a while,
that is good.
Almost like an itch, like a what if? And then you try it and you're like, oh yeah,
that's the one. I don't know if this is the
I don't think it happened just now.
Yeah. Again, it's okay, but it's not.
I feel like this one ages it somehow.
Yeah.
Which might be okay. Like maybe for somebody who wants it to be a little bit more traditional, more serious, this might be a good choice.
We do have this in a, oh, we already used it. It's right there. So we did use this print.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that. This is the same print.
And we want that as a background. It's very wasabi.
Yes, but
it's going to fight with that one even more.
Yeah. No. Okay. This is a no. Yeah. Back it up.
Okay, moving on.
This is another weird option.
Who knows? You never know.
So this fabric, what is this called again?
Spark.
Yes, so this is a blender from Ruby Star. And we've used this blender a lot, actually.
I love this blender.
What's cool about this one, and I think you can kind of see it on the screen, that it's kind of like a polka dot.
They're little asterisk shaped stars.
Yeah, it's an asterisk
in a gold metallic,
which I thought was a pretty touch.
It's like a pale pistachio green, I would say. I think it's called shell, but I would call it pistachio.
But like actually pistachio, not the color like that synthetic ice cream pistachio color.
I thought I was going to hate it.
I kind of like it.
I don't hate it.
And we have a little bit of metallic in some of our prints.
True. All right, I need another angle.
I'm going to bring the camera closer, see if that helps anybody see it. I kind of like it.
I do too.
And I didn't think I was going to like any of the prints.
I didn't think I was going to like this one.
Sandra likes it.
All
right. So our top contenders are the
pink dot, the deco stitch in peach.
Yep, and then now this one, which is a very odd selection.
Oh, and lilac.
Oh, and lilac. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that is. So we have a pink, a purple, a green, and a off. Oh no, and then a peach. So yeah, that's variety right there.
All right, so now we have the ones that are whitish. I put the whitish ones on the bottom because it's really hard to see.
Well, we can see the fabric underneath showing through, but I'm sure that you can't.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I put them on the bottom, because when you put a white fabric on top of a non-white fabric, it no longer looks white. So all the white ones are at the bottom.
Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be able to.
Yeah, this is impossible to see in the camera, I think. Let me try
to
put this one a little bit closer.
This is the deco stitch again.
So this is like it's not really cream.
It's called cloud. I would call it cream.
Cream, like a pale cream.
With gray
stitching lines.
And beige, actually.
Right, there's two colors.
Which I don't think I ever noticed that there was two colors. Oh, we actually used Deco Stitch Orchid.
Yes.
In here too.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's that one.
And I love that color.
Oh yeah, that's such a good color.
So the problem we're having in real life is that because it's laying on top of other fabrics, it's hard to see what color this actually is.
But I'm
trying to lift it up so I can.
I think I can tell that it's
kind of looks dirty.
It's too close to it's not close enough to the white, but it's also not different enough from the white.
It's kind of mushy.
So it almost looks like a mistake.
Yep.
Like you were trying to match it and you didn't, and it's like
or it got dirty.
Yeah, or it got dirty.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think this is a no.
I think so too.
Okay.
But I am very interested to see the next one.
Okay, so the next one is actually one we thought was going to be, when we originally talked about it, this I think was like the first one we thought of.
Did we? I don't remember.
This is a tiny dot from Tula Pink. The color is called Cosmic.
So it's an off-white with a neon pink dot.
Give me that.
Which, again, because it's an off-white, I'm not sure.
We're probably handling these blocks too much doing this.
Yeah, maybe. We've seen better.
Yeah, it also is like kind of childish somehow.
A little bit.
Like it looks like it needs to go in a baby's room now.
A little bit, you're right.
It's amazing how all we do is change the one background fabric and the vibe of the thing is completely
different.
If this was for a baby's room, I think this would have been a good choice.
Yeah. Not my favorite.
No.
Okay.
And this really shows you that you really don't know, because this really was one of the top contenders in our heads before we actually did it, you know? You never know till you actually try it. Okay, and I did this on purpose. So this polka dot, you can see, is an off-white background with a bright neon pink dot. The next one is kind of a more reasonable version of that. This is a whiter off-white background with a baby pink dot. And I put them next to each other so that we would see, did we like this one or did we like this one? Contrasting them, because they're basically the same. They're just variations of each other.
I think my prediction is it's going to be the same problem, though.
I think it might even be worse with this because it's so baby looking.
But worth checking.
I don't usually run around on these videos so much.
No, I know.
Feeling like all discombobulated.
And we're not even thinking about the arrangement of the blocks at this point.
Right, because it doesn't matter that much for the stage we're in.
Yeah, it's just seeing what the blocks look like on top of it. Yeah, it's fine, but I think I actually like it better than the...
I agree that I like it better than the other one, but I still don't like it.
Yeah, it again, it would be great if you were going to put this in a child's room, I think.
And I think the other options are better.
I do too.
All right, that was all of them, I think.
Okay, yep.
The only thing left under here, and we'll show it for a second. We put one layer of solid white
just so
underneath.
the ugly green cutting table that's
exactly
underneath.
Because if you just put a color like this right on that green, it doesn't look like this color at all. So one layer of white, which is not a contender because we have solid white background fabrics. So if we did solid white for the background, it would look weird.
Yeah, then these would all look like they were, the applique was just floating in space, which wouldn't look terrible, but is a different...
I think it would look pretty terrible.
It's a different thing.
All right, so our top contenders are the pink deco stitch,
purple Essex,
purple lilac Essex,
that other pink dot, the tiny dot in the beginning,
the pink tiny dot,
and the shell, the spark.
Yes.
That we
what a weird
were
selection.
Sure that wasn't gonna work.
All right. Unfortunately, I can't pull those out because they're in a pile.
Yeah,
of
we have a
mess
giant
over here. But
mountain of
we're
fabric.
going to. I will take some pictures and we can put them online to show all the last.
Oh, right, and then there was these.
Oh, right.
So I just printed out a couple things. There were 2 Ruby Star fabrics that I will hold a little bit closer. That were, pale colors, but that had other colors going on, but that weren't super busy. And I thought those shapes, while not necessarily organic, they're playful, and I thought might go with this. And the peach one, I'm thinking might be worthwhile.
Yeah, if only we knew if what we printed out is actually the color.
We have no idea. But since we liked the other peach. This peach might be worth getting to see if we like it. I'm not sure if time allows that in this case.
Yeah, because we are trying to launch this soon.
We are trying to get this done. So,
did we want to consider the wasabi still?
What do you guys think?
See if they're answering.
Yeah, let me see what you guys are saying. Whoops, again. Okay. You had me at metallic. How do I get this to go down? Here we go. Okay, we like, Jen says, you had me at metallic. Sandra likes pistachio. Maria likes pistachio. Hunkosaurus would rather have a solid pistachio, but likes the light green color.
I'm piling the ones that are...
Oh, and he also liked the peach that we just showed and loves wasabi. So if anybody else wants to weigh in, go right ahead.
All right, so these are the options that we are considering.
Sandra, I like the wasabi, but it may not be everyone's taste. That is true. It is one of those colors that you like love
it's like
or
a love
hate.
Or hate. Yep.
And a little divisive. Definitely turn some people off.
Good point.
Another pistachio. I think that might be the one.
The pistachio one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's almost like this is like an unusual option, but it's not as divisive as this unusual option, right?
For sure. Yeah, I think we do take the wasabi out.
Okay. And usually, just so you all know, this is the process we generally do is we'll start with a lot of options and we narrow down to, I don't know, a handful. And then we go backwards from that. So if we only had the 5 to choose from, you can see what a pain it is to read.
Well, I usually don't unwrap or unfold them.
Well, we had to lay out all those blocks.
Yes, I know. Anyway,
so yeah, I kind of think
they don't need to watch us wrapping bolts.
No, I was just going to do this one because I think this one might be a real contender.
Play that one out. Okay. I'd kind of like to look at the pink dot again too, because I have a feeling I won't like it now.
Oh, because we this one came up pretty early.
Right,
in
exactly.
the process.
And I think we might have found better options since then. But that's the thing, you don't know.
So Barbara's asking, what do you mean by organic? You got to remind us of when we said organic.
Organic shapes, I think that might have been, because that was the last time I said it, was talking about the shapes on these fabrics, how they're not organic.
Oh, yeah. So she means that the appliques are very improv-y shaped. So
imperfect.
Right, exactly. So like if you didn't cut this applique exactly correct, it wouldn't matter because these are organic shapes. They represent leaves and flowers, but they don't have to be that exact.
Organic
shape,
as
right?
in like seen in nature.
Right, imperfect. Whereas the print she's talking about has geometric patterns, so it's like a zigzag,
rectangles and squares and triangles that are, you know, mathematically circular or whatever.
These are more regular. These are more organic.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were going to look at the pink one again.
Just to see if we can rule it out, basically. I think we can.
It's very pink.
Yeah. I think we can rule this one out.
And I think this one would also be more divisive.
Yeah.
Like, not everyone wants a pink quilt.
Right.
This
I
makes
don't
it
necessarily want a pink quilt.
Okay, we got one down, one more down.
And that's how you do it.
What are we left with?
Lilac
Lavender
and peach.
or peach?
Let's get that one out of here. Which one? Peach first.
Try to make this a little bit less of a mess.
Nah.
I think I might have made it worse.
Things in nature, yes.
Sorry, this is not interesting.
How dare you?
There's like
watch us
fold fabric. Not interesting.
I don't know. People watch stuff on YouTube. But
that's true. People watch all kinds of things.
My daughter watched somebody just open packages of slime.
And not even do anything with them?
Well, she's like twisted them and squished them and then put them in a Pyrex.
So it's like the ASMR videos.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
Those are the videos where somebody like scratches something.
Oh God.
Or like just like rearranges things, and it's just like a mild repetitive sound.
Why?
I don't know why.
Okay.
It's some kind of psychological thing.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't understand the. I understand the playing with slime, the feel of it,
but not watching someone.
But watching someone else, I don't get that. I don't get.
I mean, people are watching us pick fabric.
I know, but that's
a little educational.
Yes. I'm not 6, so.
Oh, good.
Thank
point.
God.
Yes. I still like the peach.
This is tough.
Also, this is why we end up sometimes offering like 2 or 3 options of something, is because
we can't decide.
We can't make up our minds, and they're like 2 or 3 good options. So we're like, you know what? We'll just sell both.
But we also know that, you know, if we think they're both good, other people will think, you know.
Although sometimes what ends up selling really tells you, right? So like sometimes we'll offer like a blue version and a red version.
Muse, for instance, right behind us.
And blue will sell out like twice as much.
This is tough. I like them both.
Maria says no pink and no peach.
No peach, okay.
I kind of get that in the sense of like, not as feminine. Well, you know, since we only have 3 options left, we might as well just put the lavender 1 and 2.
The biggest problem is I don't know that we can get that fabric anymore.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh, right, because they discontinued that line.
Yeah, they discontinued Spark. They have some colors still available. I don't know if this is one of them. And I let you put it on the pile because I was pretty sure it wasn't going to work. So that just goes to show you. But
it's funny that I put that one on because that's the reverse applique looking one. And now I don't like it.
We have more.
I know, but now I don't like it because of that. Sandra's saying options are good because they're very different.
They are very different. I mean, they're all, you know,
second
pastel.
Vote for no pink.
Okay.
Not a pink girl.
Okay. We hear you. I'm not a pink girl either.
I absolutely am a pink girl. Okay, this color is called Shell Metallic. Let's go look on Moda's website and see if it's still available. Because if it's not available, then we just take it out.
Then that solved.
Takes one more
one
down.
Of our decisions made. It's still going to be, well, maybe it won't be so hard because everybody is saying no pink or peach. So that you guys might have answered our question too. frost.
33,
It's
yeah.
not there.
It's not there already?
Well, I didn't see it right there.
Nope, already discontinued. Okay, we're taking this one away. Should have checked that before putting it on video.
Oh, I knew. I had a pretty good idea. Because I looked
You just didn't
recently.
know we were going to like it.
I didn't think we were.
Right.
Because I was about to say something, and I was like, nah.
There's no way that's going to be.
It won't matter. We're not going to like it.
All right, so now we're down to lavender or peach.
Shows what I know. But that's why you do this.
Oh, Maria's also saying no lavender.
Oh, man. We can't please everyone. But we have to please some people. Peach on peach. We'll do it in between.
All right, let's take a vote. Type lavender or peach in the comments, and we'll count.
I'm really interested.
I'm not promising to do what people vote,
but I'm very interested.
But I want to know what people want.
Yeah, what your opinion is.
Ha! Hugosaurus is saying pistachio is Facebook, peach is Instagram, and wasabi is Vogue magazine.
Lavender.
I think these are two very good choices, and I think we can't go wrong with either of these two.
I think that's probably true.
So maybe what we will do next offline is we'll mock up both options so that we can see all the, next to each other, the actual layout and everything, and see which one speaks to us like that.
Yes, the shell in. No, sorry, Spark in Shell, which was the pistachio with blank.
Yeah, that's what we
has been discontinued. It is no longer available.
I should have checked that before I put it in the pile. Sorry.
Well, I knew, but
Linda's saying I'm a relatively new quilter, and she has a question.
Lavender.
We've selected pale colors. However, what about a pop of one of the colors? So you may have missed at the beginning of the video, we talked about why it's so hard to make this choice. And it's because there are 6 different backgrounds on the ones with a colored background. And then there's a bunch of white. So if you look at the actual quilt, I'm going to put it up.
We can put the wasabi
again.
back down.
So if you look at the quilt and you imagine if we put the blocks on solid white, the blocks that have a white background would look like they were just floating, and the ones with the colored backgrounds would really stick out. If we use one of the colors of one of the backgrounds, the same problem would happen. That one would look like it was floating, and all the other ones would look like they were sticking out, right? So that's why we can't use one of the colors that is used in a background, because then the rest of them look weird. But we can use a pop of color that's a different color, which is this wasabi one was the only one that we showed where it was like a very bright contrast, but it's not one of the colors, one of the background colors that is already used.
And I think it looks good with everything except this one.
Yeah.
And because it's so close, but not a match, it's like it
looks like a mistake.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It looks like a mistake.
Yeah.
But also, I think if it did match, then it would look weird too. So that's why we haven't added pops of color like you see in some of the backgrounds.
Yep.
Which makes it a little more difficult. But what we didn't look at was a pale yellow.
It's because I looked at pale yellow and I thought it was ugly.
Okay. So yeah, so we
basically have 50-50 peach versus lavender.
That's what it looks like, yeah.
Which makes sense because I think they're both good options.
I think so too.
All right, so what we're going to do is we are going to mock these up and we will post them for everybody to see on social media. And then we might actually start sewing some of them and see what we like. The QR code that I have on the screen right now is for signing up to be notified when this launches. I'm also going to put a QR code if you just want to make this quilt, but you don't want to do the block of the month, which is definitely a thing, right? We have the pattern in stock and you can just make it in whatever fabric you want. You can make it in the original fabrics. You don't have to do the block of the month if you want to make this quilt. But if you want to make our version of the quilt, then you do have to participate in the block of the month once we launch it. And ours was going to include videos too. So probably better to do the block of the month unless you really hate these fabrics.
Yeah. If you're not already familiar with needle turn applique or fusible applique, do the block of the month. This is a great way to learn, get a lot of practice. You get the educational videos. You have you have
A resource,
the program, and the schedule, keeping you on track so that you don't, lose interest and move on to the next thing like a lot of us do. And the satisfaction of finishing something is definitely good.
I say yes, like I finish things.
Yes, she doesn't finish
things. All right. Well,
she's going to finish this though, or at least quilt it.
And then we have to talk about binding.
Yes. So my thought was, instead of using this stripe, this could be the binding, but I think even that might be too much. So we'll see. We both love a striped binding.
We love a stripe binding. It's almost certainly going to be a stripe. I personally think this is too matchy-matchy. I think the binding should be
now that
a little bit different.
Also with the white background, I don't think white is good.
No. And I never like a white binding because they get dirty.
Yeah.
A white back.
So this is probably not going to be in the final.
But we have all those tiny dots from Tula.
What about
tiny stripes from Tula.
No. What about a back? No.
Too white for a backing too, because then it gets dirty.
All right.
That's my personal thing. I don't use white on backs.
I usually don't either, but
because it gets dirty.
I like stripes.
You love a stripe.
And the colors are just perfect. I was just surprised that the colors were so perfect.
Yeah.
But
all right. Well, thanks for your help, everyone. We will mock these up and post them online, and we can take another vote, and we'll see what we come up with. And our goal is to have this quilt finished and the block of the month announced, say in a week or two, probably, unless something crazy happens, which
who knows? But that's the goal. That's our goal. And go ahead and sign up to be notified when it does
I'll put
launch,
that QR code up
so that you'll be the first to know and can sign up. We are limited. There are a couple other fabrics in here that have also been discontinued, but we have a large amount. But that does mean we're limited to how many we can do.
So we have 2 comments of like, this was really helpful. It was really interesting to listen to the conversation. Thanks for the video. So you're welcome. Yes. I'm so glad this worked. This was like a wacky idea I had today, was like, what if we live pick a fabric? Like,
I just wish you guys could see the fabrics a little bit better.
That would be better.
But I think as a whole,
I
think it worked pretty well. And I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was fun. And
we always have fun doing this.
This is the best part of it.
Even when we argue, we have fun.
Yeah. The picking the fabric part is by far the best part of owning a quilt store.
I think.
Like, hands down. Like, I feel like when I help a customer pick a new project, like, I don't have to make the project.
Exactly.
I just get the fun of choosing it and dreaming about it.
That's what I think. Like, bring your quilts in. I will be glad to help you. I love it.
Yeah.
And you get to make it and I don't. And that's even better.
All right. I think that's all we had for today.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up for today.
Thank you for joining us. We will be back next week. And I think we're going to show that new collection that just came out.
Oh, we could. That's a good one. Yeah. But thank you guys for your feedback.
Thank you, everybody, for coming.
And thanks for watching.
We'll be back next week.
Good night.